What's the first thing you do in the morning? Do you check your phone, stretch, go for a hike? If you're anything like over half of all Americans though, you probably start your day with a hot cup of coffee. Ah, coffee. The strong, earthy scent, the bitter yet biting taste, much needed heat on a cold day or a way to cool down in the summer while still putting a little pep in your step. Now, most people like their coffee with a little cream. Unfortunately for one Arizona man, he was drinking his coffee with something different for months. This is the story of a man named Robbie Johnson, a member of the US Air Force who started every single morning off by kicking back a nice cup of joe made by his 39-year-old wife, Melody Feliciano Johnson, only to discover that she may have been trying to kill him with the very same coffee he was drinking for months. We're gonna get into this wild story, but first, oh hi, hello, it's Swoop, and welcome to the Suspool, the place where everything and everyone is sus, maybe even us. I dare you, come on in, the water's fine. Okay, welcome back, my spooky little Susperians. This story is a whole ass creep fest. It has a twist that you will not see coming. Now, if you're new here, welcome. This is my second channel. If you're like me and love twisted deep dive investigations, I highly recommend you check out my main channel. It will be linked in the description and pinned comment. And over here, we dip our toes in the murky, dark, and twisted waters of the Suspool. Yes, not the cesspool, the Suspool. Everything is sus. So if you're into a shorter, twisted tales, subscribe to this channel. All are welcome. Okay, we're gonna dig deep into this story, but real quick, serious question. What does your home smell like? What about your car? I bet it doesn't smell as delicious as it could. So a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Drift, who's about to make your world smell incredible. So I don't know about you, but I am obsessed with fragrances. I light candles when I'm working, perfumes are on when I'm out, and it wasn't until a few months ago that I realized I've been totally neglecting my car, my closets, and even my bathroom, which is why Drift has changed the game, honey. Drift creates incredible air care products for your car and your home, designed to look beautiful in your space while making everything smell like a decadence, okay? They just so happen to be Scentbird's sister company, who I have loved for years, so you know they know how to do fragrances. Drift uses natural, essential, and fragrance oils, pure ingredients, and sustainable materials to create your ultimate air freshener. Their ingredients are completely free of harmful chemicals, though it's still good to keep them out of reach of any of your pets. And on top of that, they are beautiful, they are aesthetic. Love that for us. And best of all, you can get them as a subscription. So first you receive a starter kit with the clip and the scent, and then you can get monthly refills to switch them out every 30 days to keep your space smelling its best. They also have a scent of the month, which features a new limited edition scent, which are inspired by the seasons and all of the memories we create. Like this month, I got the scent Grove, which has this delicious citrus and vanilla scent. It's my favorite scent in the collection. The subscription is super flexible. You can change your scent choice, your delivery frequency, or cancel at any time. And it's that variety each month that really helps keep things smelling fresh. So if you're ready to fill your car and your home with the most amazing and affordable scents, you can scan my QR code or tap my link below and make sure to use my coupon code SWOOP2 TOO for 55% off at Drift. It's less than $5 for your first month, and treat yourself, honey. You deserve it. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the purple and let's dip into today's Suspool. Our story starts back in March of 2023 on a military base in Germany where US Airman Robbie Johnson was stationed. Now, we don't really know too much about what Robbie's life was like before this moment, except that he was an airman stationed overseas, and he had a child with the other character in this twisted story, Melody Feliciano Johnson, a 39-year-old woman who joined Robbie everywhere he went as he moved around for his work with the Air Force. Anybody who knows people in the military, or people with spouses in the military, or kids whose parents were in the military know that the jet set lifestyle and the constant grind of having to uproot your life as you move from place to place can be quite difficult. And because the strain can be so tough on a marriage, that's why many Air Force marriages end in divorce. Yeah, like did you know that? Like, cause I didn't. According to the law offices of Alan R. Manka in February 2024, quote, overall, the the combined divorce rate for the US military is 3.7%. The Air Force led all military personnel with a divorce rate of 3.9%, the highest it has been in 20 years. This is further backed up by military.com, who states that those who have served in the military have the highest divorce rate of any career field. Can you imagine? Like, these are the types of things that people like aren't talking about, right? Now, no two marriages are alike, and given that we don't know Robbie and Melody, all we can do here is point out that sadly, the two were on the rocks and headed down that path, having been going through a tumultuous divorce for quite some time. And in each of the residents we're going to talk about today, the two were even sleeping in separate rooms. Now, back in December of 2022, Melody even began planting a few seeds by buying her own house in the Philippines to be closer to her family. But for the time being, in March, they were still together, and I can't even imagine how tense that situation may have been. Despite the divorce, things seemed okay on the surface, you know, like as they usually do, right? Every night, Melody would set up a pot of coffee for Robbie, and every morning he would drink that coffee on his way to work. So wash, rinse, repeat. But one morning, Robbie took a sip of his coffee and immediately noticed something was off. The delightfully bitter bite of his usual morning Joe wasn't there. As he puts it, it was bad. It tasted strange, which when you find out is gonna be like, that's putting it lightly. It tasted almost like chemicals. Like, it's incredibly likely at this point that Robbie just assumed it was a bad batch of coffee or a bad pot, or maybe Melody had cleaned the coffee maker but forgot to rinse it out completely, right? I mean, like, that would be kind of like the logical guess that like any of us would have, and then you'd move on. However, it wasn't just one bad pot. It increased to 21, like 21 bad pots of coffee that all tasted like a chemicals. Definitely is a bit sus, okay? So the first person in the Suspool isn't even a person. It's some gross, nasty coffee, or as I like to call it here, Nasty Joe. So Nasty Joe is the first up in the Suspool, and somehow Robbie continued to drink his Nasty Joe every day for 3 weeks. Now, all we really have in the way of information that's been shared in every news article and video on this topic is Robbie's testimonial on the matter. But my first question here is, what the f? And my second question is, what the f? But for real, my third question is, did Robbie ask Melody what was up with his coffee at any point? Like, I don't know. There are two real possibilities here. He did ask and she lied about it. In my opinion, that's an incredibly likely outcome considering everything that happens next. But if he didn't ask, then that's also likely because things between the two of them were clearly so bad, again, that what happened next. Yeah. Now, eventually, possibly feeling gaslit, but definitely feeling like something was off, Robbie started buying these pool chemical test strips like you can use to detect how many chemicals are in the water. And like, I'm sorry, can we pause for the cause real quick? Like, can you imagine feeling compelled to test your coffee for chemicals? Like, the actual mind that must have been. Worrying about the water that you are drinking is a terrible thing to be worrying about. So back to Robbie. So he dipped these test strips, into his coffee and found a massive level of chlorine. Chlorine, certainly far too much for a human to consume. And so annoyed, Robbie may have thought like that his house had, a contaminated water supply. That would be the natural thought. So he poured a glass of tap water and used the strips only to find that there was nowhere near the same amount of chlorine in the water. So this was really strange to Robbie, and it signified one thing and one thing alone. Somebody was a-fiddling and a-faddling with his coffee, and you never fiddle or faddle with a man's cup of joe.
Watch this. Guaranteed. You're gonna see purple. Boom.
So from here, Robbie decided to stop drinking the coffee. Okay, good move, Robbie, especially since it's disgusting. Why would you keep drinking it? But he didn't want to tip Melody off in case she was the one messing with his coffee. So according to what he told police, he only pretended to drink it. And I'm just kind of like, I wish I knew what Robbie meant by this, right? Like, because, like in my head, I picture like he's just, on his way out the door and he's like, okay, bye, honey. And then like he takes a sip. And then as soon as he steps outside, the door closes, he just... If he had footage of him like spitting it out or whatever he was doing, then like, let's be real, like someone on TikTok would have taken it and like would probably turn it into some like spitting my wife's poison coffee cringe compilation 2024 reel or something. However he fake drank the stank, this was all part of Robbie's master plan. Robbie is a man with a plan at this point. Okay, again, don't mess with a man's coffee. He's gonna come with a master plan. He decided that he didn't want to report Melody to the police until he had definitive proof if it was her. So on top of pretending to drink the coffee, he bought spy cameras that he could discreetly hide around the house. So dude, again, like, can you fucking imagine the restraint of this dude? Like, I'm just like, what in the Michael B. Jordan on whole wheat? Can you imagine your partner trying potentially to literally bleach you and kill you till you're dead? And you're just like, oh, just you wait, I'ma get you, bitch. I'm playing the long game. It's just like wild, dude. The patience, the strategy, the determination of this man. And on May 22nd, 2023, Robbie got his first real piece of evidence that Melody was doing something weird to his coffee. Now, this entire video Robbie got is about 4 minutes long and mostly consists of Melody like going around cleaning the home, wiping counters, going under the sink, getting cleanser, and so on. Like, it doesn't seem like any kind of evidence. But a minute and a half in, Melody heads to the sink and does something really freaking creepy. Okay, so what the hell is she putting in there? Now, this isn't exactly a smoking gun, and the video isn't the best, and it is pretty freaking sus, and don't worry, it's about to get much worse. Like, I can't believe how much worse the story gets. What looks to be happening here is Melody going to the sink, reaching down, grabbing something, and then repeatedly pouring it into Robbie's coffee maker. So let's play devil's advocate for a second. Number one, maybe Melody was trying to clean the coffee maker, and maybe she didn't know that you're supposed to use white vinegar, not bleach. A simple-ish mistake, you might think, until you realize that this would mean she had been cleaning the coffee maker every single day for 2 months, which is, just a bit more often than you're supposed to clean your coffee maker. Like, seriously, who the hell cleans their coffee maker that often? Like, let's be real, okay? Listen, I know some of y'all watching this got gross coffee maker just sitting on your counter right now, okay? So don't play with me, Susan, okay? Don't use bleach, okay? Vinegar, that's what you gotta use. For the love of God, don't use bleach. So maybe she stored the coffee below the sink. Maybe. Question mark. Well, it would explain why the coffee tasted bad, since you're not supposed to store coffee anywhere moist. It just wouldn't explain the chemical taste or this.
About 50 minutes ago, while I was at work, I noticed her come over to the coffee maker and she did something. So I've got my tester. I'm going to add the water to see if there's chlorine and pH is off. Pretty certain it is because I saw the bleach bottle over here. I saw it be pulled out. That bottle was pulled out. Test it. Oh, you can smell it from here. I can smell it. Looks fine. Don't know if it'll actually do anything. If it'll change it since I've already put it in, but let's give it a shot here. Okay. Let's see if it'll do anything. Look at that. Totally changed. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And you can smell it. Like, I can literally smell this. You can see it sudsed up. Soapy. I guarantee it's slick too on the fingers. Yeah, slippery. just gotta catch it in the States.
The biggest problem, counterpoints aside, is that Robbie's video wasn't clear, but Robbie wouldn't get to find that out right away. Like, he was scheduled to return to the US on June 28th, and since he knew how long investigations into attempted murder could potentially take, he decided to wait until he was on US soil to alert the authorities, which, again, playing the long game. Which brings us to the couple's relocation to the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona, where they were placed in temporary housing before moving into another house. Now, remember how I said earlier, like, yeah, it's about to get so much worse. Well, I mean worse for Melody, because Robbie was playing the long game here, and after settling in, he set up his cameras once more to get more footage, but this time he got a different angle, a little closer, on July 5th, becoming a little cinematographer. Holy shit. And like, it's so disturbing. Like, actually think about what's going on here. I know we're just watching, but like, just think about what's going on. Like, this is such a chilling video to watch. And like, I don't know how the hell Robbie kept his cool, because if I had a hidden camera and I, went back and let's review the tape and found this, oh bitch, I'd be running down the block screaming, the neighborhood dog's gonna be barking in the yard, and the neighbor's gonna get their asses woken up at the unhinged brown girl talking about this bitch trying to kill me, okay? He's trying to kill me! The long game in me and something like that. We ain't on the same page. Robbie, how do it? Now, Robbie decided that between the last video he got in Germany and this one, he had enough to get Melody. So the next day he went to the Tucson Police Department to file a report that his wife Melody had been attempting to kill him with bleach in his coffee maker. According to the interim report filed 10 days later, though, the officers at the front desk weren't impressed. Basically, you can see Melody pouring something into the coffee maker. You just can't see what. So the police took the report and never followed up with Robbie. What the bloody fucking hell? What the ball? I cannot believe these people. Why are they doing something that's just like, I don't understand. Why are we not leaving the people? He's video and the footage, and he's got the bleach and pouring the bleach in it. What the hell are we doing? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I'll compose myself. But for real, this had to be frustrating for Robbie, right? Like, it's like something out of an old movie. Like, you feel you have this hard evidence that someone is trying to take your life and make you deader than dead. You report to authorities, provide the evidence, and the cops are just like, is that all you got? Probably started to feel like straight up gaslighting, and Robbie decided that he wasn't gonna give up that easily, thankfully for him. Good for you, Robbie. We applaud the underdog. But also, y'all, how in the world did this man continue to live in the same house with that woman? My gosh, dude, the brass balls on Robbie. And so, not feeling discouraged, Robbie went to the store and bought even better spy cameras. Now, these ones look like smoke detectors, which, fun fact, for any of you security heads out there, are incredibly easy to find and purchase online, with some even being as low in price as $30. And if you need them quick, AmazonPrime.com, free shipping. Maybe I'll like find one and put a link to one of them in case, the story just makes you feel like maybe you need a little more stuff watching around the house. Robbie bought his cameras, and when he and Melody moved into the new permanent house, he installed them all around the house, including, importantly, right above the coffee maker. He wasn't just getting a single shot, the dude was about to make a whole damn Spielberg movie. What you gonna do now, Melody? What's the tune of your song now, Melody? Melody pours bleach into a cup, walks into the kitchen, and drops it into Robbie's coffee maker, and Robbie managed to accumulate literal days of Melody doing this with timestamps to show that this had actually become an unhinged, murderous ass pattern on her end. And again, like, brass balls. Like, I don't understand how the hell Robbie kept his ice cold coolery during this foolery. It's just, yeah. But like, we're not even at the twist yet, because it's gonna get twisted weird. So on July 18th, 2023, Robbie turned over all of his evidence to the Tucson PD yet again, additionally reporting that he believed Melody was trying to kill him to collect his life insurance payout. This time, they believed him. I'm just like, he did your job here. So like, if you don't believe him, like, we gonna have to talk too. Now later that day, they arrived at the Johnson residence where Melody was detained and not questioned. A search warrant was handed over, and police immediately noted liquid in the coffee maker that smelled like bleach, as well as a container in Melody's bedroom that smelled like bleach. Now, Melody Johnson was arrested with a bond set at $250,000 on account of Melody being considered a potential flight risk due to her owning a house in the Philippines near her family. So for months, Melody, through her lawyer, firmly denied the allegations that she was doing this with malicious intent. Bish, what?
The state is going to have to prove that her intention was to kill him, that this wasn't some bizarre effort to clean the coffee machine, that this wasn't some mistake, that she was out to get him. And I would think that the additional investigation that they've done will support that argument.
How are you going to claim? Let me calm it down a little bit. How are you going to claim that this wasn't malicious? I have questions and I have asked them. So asked and I would love an answer. How are you going to say this wasn't malicious? Like, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I wasn't trying to maliciously end the life of my husband. I was just trying to clean his kidneys out. I swear. Well, Melody sang a different song when she went to court on April 10th, 2024, just a month ago, where the following happened.
A military wife now pleads guilty to poisoning her husband's coffee with bleach, all to collect his life insurance policy.
It indicates that on or about July 11th, that you intended to harm, is it Robbie Johnson, by adding or mingling poison or chemical compounds to water to your drink. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Guilty.
Officially, Melody pleaded guilty to 2 counts of poisoning food or drink, which led to a dismissal. I'm laughing because this is so just, I don't understand it. It led to a dismissal of her attempted murder charge. Dismissed, just like, no more attempted charges. It's okay. It was just poisoning of food. It's okay. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Now, as a result, at the time, she faced up to 2 years in prison on each count, which is wild, according to KCRA, with 13 News additionally reporting.
Prison, probation, and a fine of $150,000.
And y'all, I hope you are sufficiently braced for this, because in the most plot twist at the end of this story that I could not have predicted. I did not see this coming. Holy baby shark. So on May 10th, Melody Johnson was sentenced to 3 years probation. Yes, Melody, no jail for you. Come on down. Come on down. Okay. Probation, no jail time. She's doing this for months and months and months and months and trying to literally bleach him out of existence. No jail time. She's just out there in the free world. As reported by The Guardian, quote, an Arizona woman who was charged with trying to kill her husband by poisoning his coffee daily for months has reportedly avoided jail time and has been ordered to spend 3 years on probation. Y'all know I'm laughing because I do that when I'm just like really uncomfortable at like how a fucking wild a story gets, and this one is just wow. But wait, there's more. I don't even know how to swallow this next part, so hang on to your ass. So the poisoned husband, Robbie, quote, Robbie Johnson did not want Melody Johnson to be imprisoned, CNN reported. The network said that the couple are still living together with their child while waiting for their divorce to be finalized. It doesn't compute. The limit does not exist. I don't understand this. Again, like, I guess like she was doing this to him and this is what he wanted. I guess he has the right, but like also does he have the right? Because this is someone who was trying to literally erase him from the planet. They have a child together. She was trying to off the father of her child instead of just waiting for the divorce and like moving on to the Philippines. She's trying to obliterate him, decimate him into particles and just send him into a bleached death. And now she's just walking around in the free world. I'm just like, was there mental health things? Like, is she a danger to herself? Is she a danger to her child? Is she still a danger to him? If she gets remarried or gets in a relationship and is dating, is she a danger to them? I don't have words because I don't understand. And the fact that they're still living together, like when I said he has brass balls, he literally has like titanium, steel, lead coated, platinum dipped, etched in gold balls that I don't even know what else to say. Like, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think does this make sense? And is this right? Is this just? I don't know what to do with this. All I could say is that the story of Melody Feliciano Johnson is a very interesting one to me for a few reasons, in that it comes in hot on the heels of a string of cases in the United States where people are trying to poison their spouses and end up getting caught. This is a thing that is happening. But it's also interesting to me just how much of a game of like cat and mouse this situation truly was. Like, given that we don't know why Melody was trying to poison Robbie, except for, well, really though, Robbie did say that he believes that it was because she was trying to get his death benefits. So, you know, like regular insurance fraud type stuff. I just wish, like, that's just wow. But this was a completely avoidable situation, especially considering that she had already purchased a home for herself once the divorce is finalized. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with these two at this point, but let's just hope at the very least that Robbie, maybe it's time to switch to drinking tea. Okay, Suspirians, time to step out of the cesspool, grab a towel and dry off. That's what I got. If you enjoyed this dark and hella creepy story, be sure to hit the subscribe button for lots more, and let me know in the comments if you have any stories that you would like me to cover. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, linked below. That's where I post most often and also announce opportunities to have your thoughts featured in my videos and my documentaries. I have a brand new full deep dive Swoop documentary out on my main channel, Swoop. It is linked below and in the pinned comment. Be sure to grab your very own pieces from the Valid Ribcage and Valid Social Club collection in the Petty University shop, linked below as always. I know that you're just gonna love these pieces, and do stay tuned for the first official Suspool apparel, which is also coming soon. I'm very excited. I've been working on the art for these designs for a very long time. Also, huge thank you to our sponsor and to all of you for being here, for supporting this channel. It really means the world to me. Thank you, Drift, for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. you can scan my QR code, or be sure to check out my link below and use my coupon code SWOOP2 TOO for 55% off at Drift. It's less than $5 for your first month, and treat yourself, honey. You deserve it. Thanks for coming for a swim. Have a good day out there. Stay weird, and I will see you next time in the Suspool. Swoop!